Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we're going to be making a little reloading video for you. This is probably a little bit outside of the context of what we normally do with reloading videos. Today we're going to be talking about reloading your own shotgun slugs on the cheap. I am talking like 18 cents a pop. Super cheap. I'm not really the kind of guy that likes to load shot shells that much. When it comes to shotguns, I'm kind of a buckshot and slug kind of guy. There's just something about a, 450 to 650 grain slug going down range at some silly speeds and just smacking the crap out of things. When it comes to shotguns, slugs, in my opinion, really just offer that crazy energy. And with some of these 3.5-inch guns that are out there, you can really generate some crazy power out of a 12-gauge shotgun, and you basically have what's essentially a close-range, big-bore, dare I say, even dangerous game gun of sorts for not a lot of money. Up in Alaska, a lot of guides carry 12-gauge shotguns loaded with buckshot and slugs just due to their tremendous amount of stopping power, their low cost, and if you've bought shotgun slugs, you know that they can be pretty expensive. I like to shoot a lot of slugs. So I opted for a reloading option for slugs that definitely saves me a lot of money and allows me a bit of flexibility to kind of just play around with different loads and stuff. And you don't have to buy a ton of equipment. That's the nice thing about it. Ray up at Moss Pond turned me on to Ballistic Products. They're a site that sells a variety of different loading components. And I went on there and I bought this setup here just to play around with, and I thought I would share some of my experience with it and show you guys how I load shotgun slugs on the cheap, okay? I'm running a Lee Precision 1 ounce key drive slug, and I've also got a Lee 69 caliber round ball. These weigh about 480 grains. All right, so that's what they call pumpkin balls. So we're going to be loading pumpkin balls and key drive slugs today. Now here's the weird thing about buying shotgun components. If I go online and I order a brick of primers, I'm going to have to pay hazmat and all that kind of stuff. One thing I noticed, they had these Federal holes on sale for cheap, and the cost of the primed holes was close to, if not less, than the cost of the primers by themselves. And because it's a primed hole, you don't have to worry about paying hazmat, which is awesome. It saves you a ton of money. And if you're like me and you like to shoot a lot when it comes to slugs and buckshot, that's such a cool way to save a buck. You know what I mean? So I bought a bunch of these primed holes. Now guys, I don't really reload 12 gauge when it comes to depriming them, resizing them. Like I've got a Mech Junior that I've played around with here and there, but I'm just not a shotgun shell reloading kind of guy. We're going to get to the chase here and just kind of talk about the process. We're starting with all virgin raw components, and I'm going to show you guys how easy this little setup is to use. I ordered Ballistic Products. I ordered their hole vise, and it's basically just a little vise that holds the hole. You'll see why in a moment. It's literally just a little vise to hold it. And then their roll crimp tool. You put it in the end of your drill, and this just kind of rolls the crimp in, develops a little bit of heat, and you get a nice kind of even, hopefully somewhat pretty looking roll crimp. These are 600 grain heeled slugs that I had special made. I've got a Wesley Richards Cape rifle, and this is a black powder slug that I was able to load these slugs on black powder. So you can load black powder, you can load smokeless, and the nice thing about these holes is they're cheap enough. When I'm shooting black powder, I just throw them away. I'm not going to bother trying to clean this hole up and reprime it. They're cheap enough to where you can just dispose of the dang things and move on with life. That's my perspective. When you fire them with a roll crimp, they come out about like this. All right, this is after it's been shot with a slug. These folks also make a trimming device that can actually trim that little bit off, and you can reuse this hole a couple of times if you want. The nice thing about it, if you're running it in the same gun, you know you're going to be using it in the same shotgun, you don't even have to resize it. You can just knock the primer out, put a fresh primer in it, recharge it, crimp it, and you're good to go. Let's go over the process, guys. This is stupid easy. I'll show you guys how to do this. It's a lot of fun. All right, we're going to load up some slugs here. Real simple here. Grab a primed hole like this. And one thing I want to mention is all this equipment wasn't very expensive at all. This is a nice cheap way to get into rolling your own shotgun ammo without spending a ton of money and without a huge initial investment in equipment. You don't have to load slugs and buckshot. You can also load birdshot this way if you want. Just follow whatever the load data recommends and go from there, but we're going to start with a primed hole. And the nice thing about these magnetic mats that I have right here is that it'll hold it, you know, just fine, and I've also got a reloading tray I can use as well. We're going to take a predetermined charge of Clay's powder, drop it in there. Get in there. All right. Make sure it's settled in nice and even. We're going to take a nitro card, drop it in there. Okay. Just get that settled in about like that. Okay. We're going to use a cushion wad, and this also kind of brings the height up where we want it, where we want the entire column to sit. So that's a felt, basically a felt cushion wad. Looks about like that. We're going to take a Winchester AA, 1 ounce Lee key drive slug, stick it in there, put the whole arrangement in there, grab another nitro card over the top of the whole shebang, maybe just a slight amount of pressure, that's about right, put it in the hole vise, clamp it down, and then what this does, it rotates and it just imparts a bit of spin and a little bit of heat buildup as it develops friction, and it just rolls that crimp right in. Watch this. Just like that. That slug's ready to shoot. And we are going to go out and shoot some of these in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and load a couple of more for you. Real easy. Let me go grab some powder. All right, so again, powder. And remember, these are pre-primed holes, guys. Real easy. Loading shotgun ammo is a lot different than loading metallic cartridge. It's a little more exacting. You're supposed to kind of follow the shotgun data kind of like it's a recipe, so to speak. All right. Nitro card. Felt wad. Key drive slug. AA wad. Nitro card over the top, a little bit of pressure in the vise. Ready to shoot. Nothing to it. All right, and quickly we'll go ahead and just load a few of the pumpkin balls. Only difference is it's a round ball that has a little bit more weight to it versus the key drive slug. It's a little over 1 ounce of lead, just a big old 69 caliber round ball, same wad, real simple hole. This is long shot that we're using right here. We got a charge of long shot powder. Got our nitro card over the top of the powder. Then we got our felt wad. Slug. Overshot card inside the hole vise. Crimper down. There you go, you got a pumpkin ball, homemade. Didn't cost much money at all, real cheap. I'm gonna load up a couple of more and we'll go out and test them out and see how they shoot. All right, we're gonna try these slugs out that we made. Guys, real informal video, just having a little fun here. This is our key drive 1 ounce Lee slug. That's on Clay's powder. Getting about 1,300 feet per second out of this 1 ounce slug. Let's give it a try, see how it does. A little greener GP here. Just to the right of that little plate down there. I'm shooting about 50 yards away. Had some steel down here. There we go. I mean, you're right in the boiler room on a deer, and these are way, way cheap. They're not costing me a lot of money. All right, now, pumpkin ball. Now, this is a little bit heavier. This is gonna have definitely more of a wallop of a sound going on. This is a 550 grain round ball, getting down on about 30 grains of a long shot, 33 grains of long shot. Ooh boy, and this light gun, this thing's gonna kick a little bit. Woo, that, that had a little bit of a roll to it. Right under it. That's got a wallop to it. All right. Well, guys, there's how you make cheap slugs. Buckshot, birdshot, whatever you want. But personally, I think where that type of reloading situation really comes out on top for you is when you're loading slugs. Because in my opinion, I just like shooting slugs out of shotguns. I think they're so neat going down range and just hearing them hit a piece of steel like that. Guys, maybe you learned something. Maybe you guys can take something away from that, but we just wanted to make that particular video just to kind of show you a cheap way to make your own 12 gauge slug. So there you go. Guys, stay tuned. Many more reloading videos on the way, more gunsmithing, tons of different stuff we're doing. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.